This painting was created more than 500 years ago, between 1495 and 1498, by Leonardo da Vinci. At first glance, it looks simple. Jesus sits at the center of a table surrounded by his 12 disciples. But the longer you look, the stranger it becomes. Because this isn't just a painting, it's a masterpiece filled with hidden decisions, psychological tricks, mathematical precision, and artistic innovations that were centuries ahead of their time. And the most fascinating part is that many people look directly at these details without ever noticing them. The first hidden detail is the exact moment Leonardo chose to paint. Most artists before him showed the Last Supper as a peaceful religious gathering. Leonardo did something completely different. He captured the exact second after Jesus says, "One of you will betray me." That single sentence turns the entire room into chaos. Look carefully. Nobody is sitting calmly. Every disciple reacts differently. Some are shocked, some are angry, some are demanding answers, while others seem frightened. Each person appears caught in a different stage of emotional processing. Today, this may seem normal, but in the late 15th century, this was revolutionary. Leonardo transformed a religious scene into a psychological drama. The second hidden detail is something most viewers never consciously notice. Everything in the room points toward Jesus. The ceiling lines, the walls, the windows, the tapestries, and the architecture all converge at a single point directly behind his head. Even if your eyes wander across the painting, Leonardo quietly pulls your attention back to the center. It is almost like visual gravity. Without realizing it, you keep returning to Jesus. This technique is one reason the composition feels so powerful. The third hidden detail is even more impressive. Jesus forms a triangle. Notice the shape of his body. His arms extend outward while his head forms the top of the shape. Together they create one of the most stable geometric forms in art. During the Renaissance, the triangle symbolized harmony, perfection, and balance. While chaos erupts around him, Jesus remains calm and perfectly structured. The geometry itself becomes part of the storytelling. The fourth hidden detail involves the disciples. Leonardo did not arrange them randomly. They are organized into 4 groups of 3, creating rhythm and balance across the entire image. The number 3 held special significance in Christian symbolism because of the Holy Trinity. Leonardo managed to create a composition that works artistically while also carrying deeper symbolic meaning. The fifth hidden detail is Judas. In earlier paintings, artists often separated Judas completely from the other disciples. Sometimes he sat alone on the opposite side of the table. Leonardo chose a much more subtle approach. Judas remains among the others. At first glance, he blends into the group, but look closer. His head is slightly lower, his body pulls backward, and his expression appears tense. He also grips a small bag, traditionally interpreted as a reference to the silver he would later receive for betraying Jesus. Instead of labeling Judas as the villain, Leonardo lets viewers discover him through observation. The sixth hidden detail is one of the most fascinating. Notice the hand gestures throughout the painting. Nearly every figure is communicating through movement. Some point, some spread their arms, some reach toward others, while some pull away. Leonardo spent years studying human anatomy and behavior. He understood that emotions are expressed through the body as much as through the face. Even without hearing a single word, you can almost follow the conversation. The painting feels alive because every gesture serves a purpose. The seventh hidden detail is hidden in plain sight. Look at the windows behind Jesus. The central window frames his head, creating a natural halo effect. Instead of painting a traditional golden halo, Leonardo uses light and architecture. The result feels more realistic while still emphasizing Jesus as the central figure. It is a perfect example of Leonardo replacing convention with observation. The eighth hidden detail involves mathematics. Leonardo believed that beauty followed rules. He spent years studying geometry, proportion, perspective, and measurement. The Last Supper appears effortless, but beneath the surface lies an incredibly organized structure. Distances are balanced, groups are distributed carefully, lines guide the eye, and shapes repeat throughout the composition. The painting feels natural precisely because so much planning went into making it appear natural. The ninth hidden detail is something that nearly destroyed the masterpiece. Leonardo was dissatisfied with traditional fresco painting. Instead of following established methods, he experimented. He painted on dry plaster using a mixture of materials that allowed greater detail. The technique worked beautifully at first, but it came with a serious problem. The paint began deteriorating surprisingly quickly. Within decades, parts of the image were already fading. Ironically, Leonardo's desire to innovate created both the painting's greatest strengths and its greatest weakness. The 10th hidden detail is that what we see today is only a fraction of what Leonardo originally painted. Over the centuries, the artwork suffered damage, moisture, war, neglect, and repeated restoration attempts. At one point, a doorway was cut directly through the lower center of the wall, destroying part of the original painting. Later restorations tried to repair the damage, sometimes adding details that Leonardo never painted. Modern conservation efforts have revealed as much of the original work as possible, but much has been lost forever. Yet despite all this damage, the painting remains powerful. And that may be the greatest hidden detail of all. 5 centuries later, people still stand in front of this image and feel exactly what Leonardo wanted them to feel: tension, suspense, emotion, and curiosity. The painting succeeds because it does something very few artworks ever achieve. It freezes a single moment in time and makes it feel alive forever. The Last Supper is not famous because it is old. It is famous because Leonardo understood something timeless about human nature. He understood where people look, how people react, how emotions spread through a room, how geometry influences perception, and how a single image can tell an entire story. That is why, more than 500 years later, the world is still studying a dinner conversation painted on a monastery wall.